Hi everyone, welcome back. So in this video, I'll be discussing about what you should focus on in the coming 2 months, in these 2 months, July and August, because most probably phase one will happen in September. And in addition to that, how you should manage your time. And for managing, it is important that you understand what is important for the exam and what is not that important for the exam, because it is, if you are just starting or if you have only few months for the preparation, it is not possible for you to complete the whole syllabus. And if you look at it from a strategic point of view, it is not even important to complete the whole syllabus. So how you should manage the left time you have for these 2 months, how you should manage it, how much time it is important for you to give. Okay, to start this, I want to segregate two things. Firstly, there are people who are from the banking background, who are working in banks or preparing for banks, or who have given this exams multiple times. For them, if you think your QRE is good, you should follow a certain priorities while completing your syllabus. And for other people, like for UPSC aspirants who are planning to give RBI this year, or others who are new to this exam and who consider that their quant reasoning and English is not that good, then what additional they should do. Okay, so first I'll start with people whose quant reasoning and English is good. Okay, so if your QRE is already good, you don't need to put so much time on your quant reasoning English, but don't be overconfident. Practice questions weekly, or I would say you can give sectional test, or you can give the full length mock test on weekly basis, or however you want, but don't just completely leave it. And you should be sure that you are able to clear the sectional cutoff. Now, sectional cutoff, don't just consider what it was there in the previous years. Also, take some buffer there, because as vacancies will be less, sectional cutoff can go high. So in those cases, you should be on the safer zone. Okay, so for that, if your quant reasoning and English is good, just go ahead with the sectional mock test and the full length mock test. You can give it during the weekends, and you can decide accordingly how many test series you have and all. Okay, so this is what you need to do for these quant reasoning and English. Now, other than this, you should focus on GA and also on the phase two. For phase two, if you have not started yet, or if you have already started, how you should do is, don't waste so much time on doing everything in the static part. Okay, strategize what you should do. So firstly, take any one static subject, be it finance or management. I would not suggest you to do ESI completely, because the weightage of static in ESI is reducing. Okay, so but it is important to complete management uh, and finance. Okay, so in these two, take any one subject, because after phase two, you won't get time to complete this. Take any one subject at a time and do it at least 2 hours. If you're working, 2 hours every day, give to this management. Okay, or finance. Start with any one, or if you're bored with management, you can parallelly do it. And don't take so much time just in one chapter. Okay, last year when I was doing, I face certain issues like management. I'm taking one summary sheet and I'm just reading it for 1 day or 2 day. Let's say I'm giving just 2 hours and I'm giving so much efforts. I'm trying to just memorize everything in the first read itself, which is not a good thing to do. So just complete the whole chapter once. Do the quizzes, attempt the quizzes, see how much you are able to retain. Okay, if there is something confusing about different theories, have a short note on the differentiation between theories. Like that you can do, but don't give so much time. So ideally, I would say you should for management, just 1 or 2 day is enough. If it is small chapter like perception, personality, it should be done in 1 day. If it is bigger chapter like management or leadership, communication, you can take 2 days as well. But once you complete the chapter, also do the quizzes. Okay, so this is how you should go with the finance and management. Now, finance also, just don't try to just be so much indulged into calculations or formula or these things. Have a basic understanding. It is very important to understand finance concepts. So give good amount of time for finance, but cover these things before your phase two. Okay, ESI, if you get time, start with important chapters. Same is with finance. Finance, start with important chapters. How you will know what is important? Go through the previous year questions or see some analysis videos on YouTube. They'll tell you which chapter is important for descriptive or objective. So try to cover first the important chapters of finance and then the less important chapters. For management, every chapter is important. Just cover everything. Okay. For QRE, I already mentioned. Now GA. For GA, you need to be very particular. You need to understand what is important for phase 2, what is important for phase 1, how much weightage to give to what. Okay. Now GA marks, how much your target score is, depends a lot on how good your QRE is. If your QRE is like that, you can just clear the cutoff, then you need to put extra efforts in GA, because you might need good marks in GA to clear the overall cutoff. So in these cases, what you should do is focus more on PIB, focus more on RBI circulars, SEBI news as well, because nowadays they're asking SEBI news. Last year in phase 2, they asked multiple questions from SEBI circulars, and banking and finance news. Other than this, you can cover the miscellaneous GA. You should cover it just for the past 2 or 3 months. I would not suggest you to go for more. Just cover the recent 2-3 months. Miscellaneous GA I'm talking. These things, RBI circulars, I would suggest to cover for at least 6 months. PIB and other things you can cover for 3-4 months. It's fine. Okay. Now in PIB, I am saying about the current news that is coming in PIB, but there are certain schemes updates that are coming. So those flagship schemes you need to cover separately. We will talk about it in the further video. Okay. Now schemes in the news. Now here, be selective, because last year if you see, the weightage of schemes went down, but it's not like it will happen the same way this year as well. There might be a case that you see multiple questions from schemes. So how you should be preparing it is, schemes you should firstly cover for important ministries, like for example finance ministry. Anything that is related to your syllabus, like social development is there, okay, empowerment is there, rural development is there. These ministries you cover first. Okay. And also, if there are some scheme that is in news, like for tribal affairs, maximum, they put a lot of focus on these things, because it is somehow related to your syllabus as well, ESI syllabus. So if there is some schemes that is so much in news, if you see it so appearing so many times in newspapers and articles, then cover those schemes. And some flagship schemes you have to cover it. There is no other option for it. Okay. Now, in GA, when I talked here there is two things. One is, you will have some GA which is, you think that, okay, they will ask in phase 1 maximum. So how phase 2 questions are framed is, phase 2 questions are in a kind of set, like 5 questions will be from similar kind of topic. Okay, from a single paragraph you will have some 5 questions. So it is mostly from reports or some schemes or some important thing that has happened in news. So when you read, if you think there is something, because phase 2 is more important in GA, out of 80 questions, it's okay if you correctly attempt even 40 questions. So it is okay. You have that space to, leave few questions, or you can skip few things. Like for me, I don't read sports news. I don't read it, because I think that if some question comes, I can afford to just skip it. So like that in GA, in phase 1 GA we can do, but we can't do in phase 2. So if you think some news is, important, or the questions can be framed for phase 2, give more focus to it. For simple, phase 1 questions, give focus to more important news. It's not like you need to read every, author, awards, everything you don't need to read. Okay. Next, important reports. Here also be very particular. First of all, go priority wise. First, cover all the reports from RBI. Okay. Then there are some important reports of IMF, World Bank, World Economic Forum. Go with these. Then some reports are there from NSO, Niti Aayog, which are so much in news, or which is on these economics topics. So those things, social issues, these things you cover, but just be very selective. Okay. Next is descriptive material. This is important. Okay, I forgot to put some snap. I thought of sharing how I prepared last time for this report. how I prepared the descriptive content from RBI reports, because these content you will be able to quote in any of your answers, and it is important. Okay, so if for important themes like for example women, health, education, um, then social development, okay, empowerment, women empowerment, that I already covered. Okay, now tribal affairs, what government is doing for these areas, like AI, cybersecurity, these things. Okay, whatever is news, gig economy. Okay, these things are important themes. You might get questions, descriptive questions in ESI, or you can get as essays, or even you can get in finance. So for these important themes, have just simple 10 pointers. Like let's say if some question comes related to education or related to health, have few points like 10 points on what is the current status in India, what are the government schemes that is ongoing related to health. Similarly, if related to financial inclusion, what RBI is doing, what government is doing, what is the status of those schemes. These points have small pointers. Okay, have small pointers, make just 10 points have for every theme, and just revise it, make it and revise it. When you will be writing the answer, it is, if you have revised it, it will automatically come to your mind, and it is good to state good data points, or something good in the news, in the answers, that they will know that okay, this person has quoted this data from IMF report, or let's say RBI report. So this material you should prepare. Okay, you have option to not prepare it, you can do that way, but in that way it will be very difficult for you to write all the four answers in the given time period, because there are several issues like keyboard latency, other things. Okay, so for these cases, if you want to utilize the time properly, have something in your mind for every theme. Okay, so prepare it. I have also not done it yet, but I will do it in coming weeks. Okay, then descriptive practice. If you are not giving much time to QRE now, so you are left with uh, time, at least little time. Take out 90 minutes every week. Okay, just 90 minutes in a week minimum, and just write four answers in that time period. Two answers for 400 words, two answers for 600 words. Write it in a timed manner. Don't do the things mistakes I did. I used to write simply, just like that. I'll just give myself 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and later on, honestly, I'm telling, before my phase two, 3 4 days also, I was just able to attempt three questions out of four. I think it was directly in the exam where I, attempted all four questions. Otherwise, it was very difficult for me to attempt all the four questions in that 90 minutes nicely. Okay, so for that, you should start practicing it. Initially, when I started, I was able to write just two questions. Then I put a lot of efforts, and it was like 2.5 questions. Then somehow it came to three questions. Somehow, I used to complete three questions. Fourth question, I used to have just time to start it, not much. So start practicing it. You have time, don't panic, you have time, do it. Okay, but these things should go parallelly. You can give alternate days to it, but your GA should go hand by hand. Every day you should do something on GA. Do something on GA every day, and then additionally you can give 2 hours to your static or to your descriptive writing. You need to divide. You can do it. I think you all are smart to do it. Okay, then next is for people for whom your QRE is not very good, or you are not confident with quant reasoning in English. Then give additional time. If, say, let's say people are working, if you are studying for 4 hours, try to extend it to 5 or 6 hours. It is important, because phase one is difficult only because of quant and reasoning. Again, I'm saying this because there are maximum people who will read GA for last 2 3 months, and they will be able to clear GA cutoff. Okay, quant and reasoning is important, so give extra time, because competition is very high. You need to put extra efforts. Give extra time. Practice quant and reasoning 2 hours every day. If you have already covered the syllabus and your issue is just time, give mock test, give sectional mock test. And if your concepts are itself not good, then you should go back, learn it, and then practice it. You don't need to do quant and reasoning 2 hours every day. One day you do quant, next day you do reasoning. Similarly, you can do alternate days. Okay, English, if your English is not good, then I would say you don't have much time to focus on English because there are so many things you need to do. So just practice mocks, analyze it. When you will be analyzing, you will know what you did wrong, okay, which rule you didn't apply, what you forgot. In that way, you will somehow cover the syllabus. Okay. Now this is what are the priority area which you should focus more on. Then again, phase one is more important, guys. Do not neglect it. There is no point of preparing everything for phase two if you are not able to clear phase one. So every day you have to give some time to your phase one. If you are good in QRE or not, practice mocks for these quant reasoning. Okay, give GA lot of time, revise it every Saturday, Sunday. Revise your GA. Revision is more important. Attempt lot of quizzes wherever you are getting it for free, wherever you're getting free mock tests. Just attempt it. Okay. Now this is a usual routine that I think it works for me, and you can adjust it accordingly to your work schedule. Okay, so for me, I am able to get somehow on some days I get 2 hours time when I have to go to office, and when I have to work from home, if I'm waking up early, I get 3 hours or maybe sometime 4 hours. It all depends on what time your office is starting. But if you're not getting morning, let's say you're able to get only 2 hours, try to compensate for it in the evening. Try to do 4 hours in the evening. Okay, anyhow you have to take out time because this is what you're doing for yourself, and you need to make extra efforts. So if in morning you're able to take 4 hours, then it is good. Just wake up early, wake up at 4 or 3 or whatever you want, and in evening just have some 1-2 hour revision, and you can just go to sleep. Okay, and then you can wake up early. This is how it works for me. But for people, sometimes morning you don't get enough time, so take out time in the evening, be it 8 to 12 or however you like it. Just take out at least 5 to 6 hours. I have written 5 if you are very busy, or if you are giving this is your second, third or fourth attempt, then it is good. Otherwise, mostly I would say you need to give 5 hours. This exam is, I won't say it is very tough, but the less number of vacancies make it very competitive. Okay. Now there are few people, who are commenting, and I observe that those are new aspirants and they are not much aware, and they try to do certain mistakes that I am doing. So I thought of sharing this as well in this video. I'll just cover it quickly. I don't want this video to be long. Okay. Now, first thing, to new aspirants, this is what even I did. Initially I tried to cover the finance from the very starting, very first topic, bonds, derivatives, markets, like that. So I realized that it is not very important to do it that way. First, understand the paper, understand what is coming. It is good to know all the finance concept and everything, but if you are just following what coachings are giving, it's like for initial chapters, for every, let's say for bond market, there are 5-6 lectures. It is not, I think it is not appropriate to give 6 hours, 7 hours to just one chapter, which is not having that much weightage. Okay, it is good to have a basic understanding, but it's okay, just have that. So how you need to cover the static part? Just complete the important topics first. How you will know it? There are certain new chapters that are added in the syllabus. I think last 2-3 years it happened. Cover few from that. Then cover the chapters from which past year questions have been asked. Okay, and when you do it, there are certain new changes to it by SEBI, RBI, something. There are many important RBI circulars like lead bank scheme, priority sector lending. Somehow you will be reading these things. Okay, so cover important things first. Now this is for ESI and finance. Like for example, in ESI, international institutions, these are very important. IMF, World Bank, they have always asked questions from these. Similarly, for finance, these financial institutions are important. SIDBI, NABARD, SEBI, RBI. So cover these first. So cover according to the importance. Which chapters are important? Go to YouTube. You can find it. There's so many videos. Just search for it. Okay. Then uh, also you can analyze the previous year questions. If you don't know, then just go to, there are so many analysis video. One I remember is from EduTap, and also I think it's there in Crack Grade B, where they have discussed last year paper. So accordingly you can analyze and see what is important and what is not. This is not waste of time, and it is not, it's not like someone can just simply give you a list and you can just follow it. It needs some research to have a deep understanding, and you should put efforts and time to get that understanding. Okay. Now, don't be very overconfident with quant and reasoning. If you are new and you have not given RBI exam yet, I'm telling you the questions and the level that is asked in RBI, and considering the time, I think quant and reasoning becomes very challenging. Practice them. If you are good, it's very good, but practice it. Okay, practice it in the RBI format, in the time and everything, the level of questions or how complex those questions are. So practice it. Now, there are people who are so overwhelmed by the data in the reports or schemes, and there's so many things. Even I faced it. Don't try to remember it. Okay. I am again saying don't try to just cram it, because you won't be able to do it. There are so many data, there are so many figures. So what you do is, obviously, you have to remember it at a certain point, but it should not be your first reading itself. First, cover some reports. Okay, watch from YouTube, or you're going through the document and highlight what you think is important. After that, attempt some quizzes, some questions that you should, if you're having some course, your course will give it. Else, there are many things on the Telegram where you get it for free. If not free, you have to pay something for test series. Go and do it. It is an investment. Then attempt the questions. You will be able to remember few data for sure. Whatever you have done wrong in the quizzes, then again, just look at the answers, what you did wrong. Okay. Next day, or maybe the day after 1 day or 2 day break, then again revise it and just read whatever you have highlighted. Okay. Now, there will be certain points which you will see in questions that are asking repeatedly, like in the FSR report, this NPA, CRAR, these things are important. You have to remember it. Now, in that report, it's okay even if you don't remember other things, but this is something that you should remember. Now, this, how will you know? When like if you're watching any YouTube video, there the faculty will let you know that data is very important. Like if you're, covering PIB from money, so he always says, okay, this is the data you need to remember. Okay, so when you will read that 2-3 times, automatically somehow you will be having certain ideas about all the data, what range it is, what or maybe the exact value. Now, all the questions are optional. You can guess from the options, or I am very sure that you, even like after 3-4 times revision, you will be able to remember the values as well. Okay, so don't try to do it in the first reading. Now, there are people who are not from the finance background, and they face difficulty in understanding finance and RBI circulars. Don't try to just skip this part. I know it's the hard part, but just do it. If you're not able to do it, I'm not sure how you will survive the job, because in future you have to deal with it every day. So it is important, uh, put some time and understand it. Okay, even if RBI circulars are very complicated, put time and understand it, because this is needed in every phase of the examination. You can't pretend that you understand every time. Even if you did in phase 2, you won't be able to do it in interview, and it is very difficult to go there and show that you're confident when you know that you don't understand these concepts in detail, and you will need to do it when you're working in RBI. So please put some efforts and just understand it. There are many good faculties. I think so many people teaches it well. If not, you can just go and read it on your own. Personally, I like to read everything on my own. If I'm not understanding anything, then only I go to videos, and there are many videos on YouTube. Just put some efforts and understand. These are very basics. If you don't know this, there is no point of preparing for RBI. Okay, then fifth point is, there are people who are so obsessed with making notes, and the other people, they feel like, oh my god, I'm not making notes, how will I revise it? No, it's not important to make notes for everything, especially when you have time constraint. Note making takes a lot of time, and there are cases where we don't even revise it. Last year for static, I made few notes, and I know that I didn't even revise it once. That was all in waste. So if you feel that just highlighting in PDF, or wherever you have some summary sheets or mind maps, if you think document can work fine for you, there's no need to prepare notes. You can simply take printout if you prefer to have it in the hard copy, or else just go through the document itself. Okay, it's okay, because in many ways it is saving a lot of your time, which will be helpful for your revision. Let's say I'm completing RBI annual report. I just went through the videos and document. It took me 4 hours. But when I start to make notes, it will take me additional 2-3 hours to make that note. But I know that maybe I will never revise it from there. although I think for reports it is good to do it because reports are very lengthy. But anyways, for example, I'm saying, so in that case you can utilize that next 3 hours in again revising it someday, and somehow you will be doing it better. So if you feel comfortable and if you have enough time, then go ahead and make notes. That too, you should be very selective. There is no need to make notes for everything, because not everything is important. Okay, then last point is, there are so many people saying so many things, like I am also telling you these things, but you should just listen and see if it works for you or not. It is not important that everything will work for everyone. Like I also watch so many videos of toppers, and I see if it will work fine for me or not. Now this much of intelligence I think everyone should have, to understand what is working good for you, what is not working for you. For example, there are people who are good with quant reasoning English, but they think they should focus more on it. You should definitely do that, because you only know the reality, what you can do better, what you're good at, what your weaknesses are. So focus on one strategy, follow it diligently, follow it dedicatedly, and put a lot of efforts into it. I am very sure that it will work out for you. Okay, now this is something that I wanted to share. Now there are people who are asking me about sources and other things, so I request you to please go to my YouTube channel and look there. I have already shared enough, and I don't think, sharing it again makes any sense. You can always go and watch, because I don't think my sources have changed yet. So you can watch those videos. I don't think I should put waste your time as well as mine to make another video on that. But if there is something more, like on descriptive, I'll try to bring up a video. But if there is something that I think I have not made any video and that is important, you let me know in the comment section. I'll try to make it. Okay, thank you so much.